Hey guys, it's Katie. If you are watching on YouTube, then you could see I am in my bed. If you're watching on or listening on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts, I'm in my bed. It's probably not like a position that you ever thought you would see me in. I had an idea for a podcast episode, and I thought that like me sitting in bed for it would be like kind of hilarious, but also I am on day 2 dose of my period right now, and I am in so much pain. It's actually insane. So, um, yay. So what are we talking about today? Well, first of all, hi, how are you? My name's Katie. This is the Chaotic Rebirth podcast. I've been gone for months, and I'm sorry. I really tried to remain consistent with my podcast, but then my platform blew up. What? And like, trust me, I am so grateful for that. And I got extremely busy with sessions and getting sick back to back that I really just did not have the spoons for a podcast. So I'm trying to be better about it again because I do miss sitting and yapping. I do like podcast type episodes for my Patreon peeps pretty frequently. So if you like this style and you want to like learn more about witchcraft, that's where I do a lot of my teachings. But so for today, what we're going to be discussing is quote unquote, if you cannot see me, I'm using quotes, but lazy witchcraft. And I'm putting that in air quotes because I don't really believe this is lazy. I do think I kind of want to talk about how sometimes like the witchcraft community can be slightly ableist. Oh no. Am I going to be problematic today? I guess so. So, all right. I need to like adjust my head because sitting like that for however long I'm going to fucking talk is going to be agonizing. Okay. So this is better. Sitting up. Hello. Okay. Um so right. What am I saying? Oh yeah. So why do I think that the witchcraft community can be slightly ableist? This is coming from somebody who has mental health issues, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, blah, 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 blah. You know, the list goes on. And also struggling with chronic mystery illness. I get sick a lot. My immune system is horrible, and I am getting checked out, obviously, by a doctor. And with that being said, just because bad things are happening in my life does not mean that I have been hexed or cursed or whatever. Like, I do think that sometimes people believe that because you're a witch, like nothing bad will ever happen to you. And that's just simply untrue because life still happens. My body has been fighting battles for years of constantly being in fight or flight, you know, dealing with high cortisol, high stress, like it, and that has absolutely nothing to do with witchcraft. All of that was happening well before I practiced and before I had a platform. So, and working with deities also does not make me immune to those things. So, I want to put that out there right now. Okay. But also, so why do I think that the witchcraft community is ableist? Well, because I think that a lot of stuff that we see online caters more so to people who have time for like big rituals. Do I think that rituals are bad? No, not at all. I think that if you have the time and the energy to do it, you should. I occasionally have the time and effort to, and motivation and energy to put into doing big, thoughtful rituals that I plan out for days at a time and, and include deities and do it on a certain day and like, you know, stuff like that. But I don't always have that even. And it's funny because I created a energy and focus oil for like helping with like my ADHD, and it does help day to day, but it doesn't help with my overall fatigue. that I have been experiencing for the last year. So, yeah, so it's like even with witchcraft, it can be hard to find the energy and motivation to do things. And I find a lot of people on my Patreon, a lot of clients come to me and feel horrible when they take on too much, or like I've had people be like, is it okay for me to take a step back from deity work? Is it okay for me to like not really do anything with my practice for a while? Like, I feel guilty because I work with deities and I haven't been doing what I should be doing. And like, so that's kind of what we're talking about. I think that especially online, I see a lot of people put pressure on others to work the way that they want them to in their practice. So what I mean by that is, excuse me, oh my god, what I mean by that is like I see a lot of people online who are like, you have to worship a deity this way, like, and mind you, before people come for me, and they have been, trust, before people come for me, I do want to make sure that I am saying that yes, I of course understand that there are things in specific cultures that are important to do within deity work, like Hellenism, for example. Like, you have very specific cleansing rituals, and very, like, you know, specific invocations and things like that. I mean, there's a lot, and like obviously you can't offer blood to a Hellenic deity. So like there are a lot of rules in that regard, and I'm not saying to not do those. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that a lot of people come on here and they're like, you have to be dedicated, you have to give your life, you have to do this, you have to do that. That's, in my mind, not true. And why I think that is because growing up Catholic, my parents, love them, were not very good Catholics. And really, the only time that I went to church was on big holidays and when I went for my school. Like, I went to a private school, and so we had to mandatorily go to mass every Wednesday, I think it was. We had like all school mass or something. And for a while, that was the only time that I went to church. And I was still Catholic. I still believed in God. I still loved God and Jesus. So, why does it make it different when you have your own practice? That's my question. Because if a Catholic person or a Christian person can just go to church on major holidays and they're still Catholic and Christian and that's still valid and they still believe in God, how come you, like, you know, work with a deity passively, or talk to them every once in a while, or give offerings every once in a while, and not consistently, and that's not seen as valid? That is the question I would like to be answered by people who believe that. Is deity work a dedication? Yes. Is it mandatory all the time? No. Do you work with some deities more passively? Yeah. Like, I have deities in my space right now that I have not talked to in a few months. Like, and I mean, I have had conversations with them. I'm like, how come I am feeling distant? Like, I just don't really understand what's going on. And now, now being struggling with like, my health, I understand why. Cause it almost feels, I mean, I took a step back, but also they did too. And I asked them about it. I was like, what is going on? And they're just like, you just need to focus on yourself right now. There's also things that we want to work with you on that you're not really ready for at the moment. And I'm like, okay. And Loki has been all up in my grill, which usually is indicative of like a transition, a change in my life. So, because I mean, last year, Loki was the passive one. You know, things change and that's okay. And they can change with your life, with what's going on. I have a lot of clients that are like, bro, life has been fucking kicking me in the ass and I just haven't had time for my practice lately. That's fine. You're mundane at first. You're a person. You're human. It's okay. Like, I really wish that we would stop beating ourselves up when we take a break. That guilt that is associated with that break is fully Christian or whatever past religion that you were a part of. It is not guilt that I feel like deities or the gods now, like the old gods, would want you to have. Because a lot of the times I get knocked on my ass and they stop kind of communicating with me because they want me to take a break. Like, breaks are good, breaks are healthy, they're mentally healthy, physically healthy. Grounding yourself, reconnecting with yourself, especially during hardships, especially during hard times. Like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm doing a podcast from my bed right now. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking a break. It's okay. I am not the best devotee all the fucking time. But I do think that if you're chronically online like me, or if you're on Witch Talk and you see these like magnificent altars and magnificent rituals, and it's just like, wow, I want to do that. And you can, but you don't have to. Like, it doesn't make you any less of a witch if you're like, wow, I have a problem. Let me just light a tea light candle about it. I've had tea light candles be more effective than a full ass ritual. Yeah. Tea light candles, man. You don't need to sit down and do a whole ritual for it to be valid. And you also don't need to sit down and do a whole ritual for it to be like, for it to work. I don't know why my throat is so like, hold on. Okay. Hopefully that helps. I don't know why I feel, I like woke up this morning with a cough. I'm like, okay. The joys of being chronically ill. But yeah, so like if you want to do like a tarot reading from your bed or meditate in your bed, like, rules don't exist, right? It's your practice. And honestly, I have made mistakes of like correcting people before too, where like I was like, wait, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. And then I realized I am putting my own like belief system on things onto somebody else. And that was not right of me. And I apologize to that person because like that was not cool. And it happens to all of us, you know. There's points where we're like, wait, we're like, you're not supposed to do that. And like, but like, we need to be more, I as a community on Witch Talk, on Witchtagram or whatever, I feel like we need to be more open about learning from other people. There seems to be a really big ego issue that I'm seeing where it's like, well, I've been practicing for X, Y, and Z, and so I know everything and you don't, and you're not doing things right. And it's like, that's so fucking crazy. I don't care if you were raised by people who practice this. I don't care if you have just been practicing it for fucking 20 years. You don't know everything. And you also don't know somebody's like practice at all based off of what they're posting. You just don't know. And everybody has different opinions on things. Like, for example, this is one that's been coming up a ton on my platform and it's been pissing me off a lot. Might ruffle some feathers here. I don't know. I'm in a mood. I'm on my period. I'm ruffling feathers. I don't care. So I posted a video that was like, it was the Hamilton and then his pistol hits the sky. Wait, like, you know, that soundbite. And I did that. And I was like, when you see someone new to deity work, invoke a deity without protection. Right? Because y'all know, if you know me, if you've been listening to my podcast, if you're on my platform at all I talk about cleansing, protection, grounding. Those are, so I call them the core four. And I taught this in my deity work crash course where it's cleansing, protection, banishing, and grounding. Those are the core four. And I know a lot of people in, my God, I'm so sorry that you had to hear that. Ew. Okay. That was so nasty. Oh my God. Do I edit that out? No, I don't care. Sorry, especially to headphone users if you had to hear that. So anyway, I've been getting a lot of flack for that video from Hellenic polytheists because in Hellenism, tricksters don't exist. Now, I did mention tricksters in the description, but the video itself, I did not mention that because I've worked with Greek deities. I work with, obviously, Norse deities. I've worked with the Infernal Divine. I've spoken to deities of other pantheons that are open, that like Celtic and stuff like that. Not every single belief system has beliefs of tricksters. However, some do. Okay? But the thing is that spirits exist no matter what pantheon. Do they always pretend to be gods? No. And that's not really what I was trying to get at, but I can understand like the miscommunication there. It's not meant to be fear-mongering. It is simply the truth. Spirits of any and the thing is, trickster energies, trickster spirits, they're just spirits that want to fuck around. They're spirits that, like, they don't necessarily have malicious intent. Like, they're not trying to harm you usually, but they're just there to cause chaos. They're there to prank you, trick you, whatever. They're super easy to get rid of because I've had people worried about it. And I think that a lot of people are like, this is based in fear mongering, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, sure, I can see your point of view in that. However, spirits can come out of the woodwork, even if you are invoking a deity properly. When you open yourself up to the spiritual world, you open yourself up to everything. Everything. Spirits can come in. Spirits can attach to you at the fucking grocery store. Spirits can come to you. Negative energies can come to you based off of evil eye, envy, and jealousy. Why? And like, so I talk about protection with deity work specifically because you're opening yourself up to the spiritual world. Why wouldn't you want to be protected just in case? And a lot of the times, a lot of our deities are like, you need to fucking work on protection. The amount of readings I've done for clients that are like, oh yeah, like they are wanting you to focus more on protection and making sure you're protecting yourself because you're inviting things in whether you realize it or not. You just are. Like, okay. I'm going on a rant because I'm annoyed. And when I first started out, I was not a witch. I just was a psychic medium and tarot reader. I wouldn't consider myself a witch, but I did like cleansing and basic protection, right? A lot of people talk about how they open up their abilities and then they start seeing like shadow people, and they start having weird experiences in their houses because they're not protecting themselves. They're trying to communicate with spirits, entities, whatever, and they're not protecting themselves and they're just fucking letting anybody walk in, right? I've never had that problem. In the 6 years I've been doing this. Not once. Never had a problem. Because I've always had protection. I've always invoked spirits, deities, whoever correctly. I always cleanse before and after spirit communication. It's spiritual hygiene. It's just good to do. It's just good to do. So, like, why not do it, right? Whether you believe in trickster energies or not is up to you, and that's fine. And I'm not going to sit and like, I just sat here and was like, it's your practice. You don't let anybody else tell you what to do. And I'm not telling anybody that they have to believe in trickster energies or spirits. I'm not telling anybody that. But when you open yourself up spiritually, you invite in a lot of spirits, whether they want to be trickster energies or cause you harm or not. It just happens. Like, just protect yourself, like even if you're there are spirits that prey on you. There's lower level entities that prey on your vulnerabilities and your sadness, especially if like you're grieving and stuff like that. Protection is so important. And I'm not saying this to fearmonger, and I'm also not saying this to police anybody's practice. If you don't give a fuck about anything that I'm saying, that's totally fine. But don't come at me sideways and tell me that I'm wrong. That's my issue, is that people are like, trickster energies don't exist, point blank, period. No, they don't exist for you, and that's fine. They exist for me. I work with a trickster god. Of course they exist. Like, you think that, bro, when I die, I'm going to be a trickster. energy. Because like, okay, you think about like, okay, you watch Ghost Adventures. I don't know if you guys have seen this clip of Ghost Adventures, but it's like Zach Bagans, you know, trying to like fuck with the ghost or whatever, and he's like, "Are you the devil?" And the ghost is like, or the spirit's like, "Yeah, that's a trickster energy. He's fucking with him." That is so funny. Like, "Are you a demon?" He's like, "Yeah." Like that would be me. Like if I die and like I have some paranormal investigators and they're just like, "Are you the devil?" I'd be like, "Yeah, get out or I'm going to kill you." Like that's so funny. That is genuinely so funny. And because I think about this all the time, a lot of, because Ghost Adventures is a very Christianized version of spirit communication. They believe everything's a fucking demon, which it could be for sure. I mean, there are lower level demons that, you know, but a lot of them that I see, because I watch the show sometimes when I want a good laugh. A lot of them are simply just spirits. Some spirits are just mad. Um, you know, I mean, they could be upset, especially if they were like killed or passed in a very traumatic way. They could be mad. They could be. Some spirits can be stuck. That's a little bit rarer, in my opinion. But also, like, okay, picture this: you're in your house, chilling in bed, maybe, and someone busts open the door and starts yelling at you and forcing you to communicate, like, you know, insulting you, yelling at you in your house, right? And of course you're not going to be nice to them, and of course you're going to be pissed off. Of course you're going to make fun of them. Like, you know, anyway, I've gone on a whole tangent, but my ADHD is showing. I went from this to this to this to this. What I'm trying to say here is, overall, it's okay that it doesn't happen in your belief system, but you also need to monitor how you're interacting with people that do believe in it, because trickster energies in Norse culture are real. They are real. And there's like, you know, the Norse are very connected with the land spirits. Some of them can be considered like trickster energies. So you just like keep that in mind. Like it's okay if you guys don't think that. I don't care. Like if you're not worried about trickster energies, that's great. And a lot of the times they don't pretend to be gods. Like that's not, you know, they're not going to pretend to be gods usually, except for with Loki. Loki, and this is a whole different topic. I feel like I'm confusing so many people right now, but I'm just kind of going off. The topic of egregores as well. There's a lot of egregores that exist, especially for the Norse pantheon because of Marvel. I bet you Thor has one, and Loki for sure has one. So they might not be trickster energies, but they do have egregores. There's also, I'm sure, egregores of other deities because of who people think that they are. Like, I don't know. I could be totally off base here. Anyway, bottom line, I'm not here to police anybody. I'm not here to like tell people how they should practice. So why are we perpetuating that in the witchcraft community? Because a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of us left Christianity so that way we didn't have to be told what to do all the fucking time. And I feel like a lot of that is coming back up. I've been seeing it for years. I remember like Norse pagans were telling like Loki devotees that Loki didn't exist and that they were working with a fake and that it wasn't actually him and all this shit, as if Loki's not also a god, as if Loki is not blood brothers with Odin and is also very important to Norse mythology. Anyway, I see that. And then the Hellenic polytheists in my comment section telling me tricksters don't exist. Or there was another one where I posted a story time about like Asmodeus like fucking with my roommate because of me leaving, or him putting an offering on his altar. It wasn't actually an offering. He just put his beer there. But the way that my altars work, if you put it on their altar, it's theirs, especially a drink. And I got a lot of people being like, that's not how offerings work. That's not how offerings work. And I'm like, it is for me. Me. It's my practice. Have I just been keeping this in for too long? I feel like I'm on one right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm ruffling feathers. I don't know. I feel like you guys are probably listening to this and eating this shit up because I don't talk like this on my platform a lot. Like I don't go on Instagram and be like, "Oh my god, people are fucking annoying me." And like and they're just and honestly, I do try to think of it as the fact of like they're trying to help, they're trying to correct me. But the thing is if I'm not doing anything to harm anybody, why are you correcting me? Like if other people have altars that like it has to be very intentional, and I know in the Hellenic uh practice it does need to be very intentional. I get it. I get that. I've worked with Hellenic gods. I have had them correct me on stuff. I've also done research. I might not be the most well-versed person within Hellenism, but like I do understand it. Like I'm not, I don't know, guys. I've been doing this for fucking almost 6 years, and it feels like every day I have somebody in my comments just being like, "You're doing something wrong," and I'm like, Just leave me alone. Let me do it wrong. I don't know. Let me do it wrong. I guess. Fuck. But I don't think it is wrong. I really don't. And I'm not trying to shit on like Hellenic polytheists because I feel like I have been this whole time. I do respect Hellenic polytheists a lot. I know quite a few of them, or just people who work with the Hellenic pantheon. Like, and I do respect them. And I'm not trying to talk shit about anyone specific. Okay, this is not like tea. This is not like shade or anything. Like and you could see if you go through my fucking comment section, I comment this stuff to people. Like, I am not that bitch that's going to go on like a part of my platform and talk shit about somebody. If I have something to say, I will say it to their face and whatever. So this is not like me talking about a creator or anything like that. These are like just random people that I don't fucking know, right? That don't know me. Probably just came across my video on the For You page, right? So, like, I'm not trying to shit on anybody's beliefs because that was, like, the whole point of the video in the beginning of me saying, like, don't let anybody tell you what your practice should be. So I'm not telling them what it should be, right? Because if they want to believe that, that is their belief. And I know that trickster energies don't exist in Hellenism. That is that. That is not the same case for me. It is not. And that's okay. We can coexist, babe. We can exist in the same sphere. Why does everything always have to be exact the same? You have to believe this exactly. What happened to like just having freedom of opinion of, because I mean, like, again, a lot of Norse pagans, let's kind of switch gears away from Hellenic polytheists. A lot of Norse pagans believe that Loki is not a god to be worshipped. Okay. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm Norse pagan. I do love Norse culture and Norse mythology a lot because of Loki, but the community in and of itself was just not for me for a lot of reasons, and I've talked about it before. I won't rehash it now. Bye, bub. He wants to go be in his kennel. He's tired of me yelling. But a lot of them don't believe that, a lot of them believe that Loki is evil. Okay. I don't. And that's okay. My practice is just as valid. Just because I look outside of the mythology, I like, because the thing is that what makes me laugh the most about people thinking that Loki is evil is that he embodies a gray area of good and evil. Like, he is neither good nor is he evil. He is the middle part. And Norse culture and Norse paganism doesn't really have good versus evil. But again, if that's how they want to interpret it, that's okay. But don't be coming on my shit and telling me that. Go away. Like, let me live. Let me live my life. We already have enough control as it is. Why are we trying to police each other? If I'm not practicing a closed practice, harming myself, harming other people, scrolling is free, blocking is free. I don't know. This was not supposed to turn into this. So I'm going to kind of circle back a little into the lazy witchcraft because that's what I really wanted to talk about. But I think I got on a tangent because of recent events. I'm not going to lie, guys. My Instagram is like a cesspool right now, and it's not getting to me at all. Mind you, I will be making content about some of the comments that I've been getting because they are genuinely so funny and so unhinged. Um, it's not getting to me at all. Because here's the thing, I can ignore a extremist Christian person all fucking day long. Like they extremist, insane Christian people who are commenting, telling me I'm working for the devil and da 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 da, that are commenting and don't even understand what they're saying. They're talking to me about how Jesus and the Bible has been proven when that is incorrect. And here, I'm going to tell you what is correct so that way you guys can use this if somebody tries to tell you. So what they're talking about, the Bible and Jesus being proven, there has been evidence, that's the word I'm looking for. There's been evidence of someone like Jesus existing based off of written things from that time period of them speaking about somebody like Jesus, right? That's it. That's it. A quick Google search told me that. But people are fucking running with it, okay? And then they go, well, there's no evidence of your gods existing. Yeah, because they're gods. So they're not walking the fucking earth. But there is archaeological existence of them being worshipped. So, but also Christian people don't want to hear that Christianity is just Norse paganism in a different font. Anyway, so they don't bother me at all. What does bother me is other witches commenting, policing each other, witch hunting each other. Like, I'm just like, dude, if you have a question, cool. If you want to talk to me about it, fucking DM me. Don't, like, we're on the same team. We're on the same team. Why are you arguing with me? That's what's been weighing on my mind. Anyway, so lazy witchcraft. Oh no, am I gonna post this? Yeah, I am. I don't even care right now. I genuinely am. I'm not even joking, guys. I'm at this point where I am so fed up with like the culture of witch talk and witchstagram that I just don't care anymore. I'm in my own little corner. I do the witch house stuff, which is really fun, and I really enjoy those girls a lot. They're amazing. But that's it. I really don't want to deal with anything else. The community is tiring. And, you know, if anything, I think the community can make people not want to practice more than anything. Because, like, it's not that I'm never not going to practice like this. Like, no. But I can see how if I was new and getting comments like this would really deter me. Because it's just like, bro, like, I feel like I can't do anything right. But lazy witchcraft. Katie, stop being so fucking ADHD. Lazy witchcraft. I think I'm going to talk a lot more about lazy witchcraft on my platform because I'm really tired of people just posting like elaborate stuff. Instant Witch posts a lot of cool, like, you know, not lazy witchcraft, but easy stuff, which I do appreciate. And I think that can be really helpful. I'm gonna level with you guys. I think like the most important thing for you guys to do if like you have the energy, it's just keeping up with your spiritual hygiene. Like if you literally can't do anything else, just keep up with that. And then just do 7 day candles. Oh, I love making my own 7 day candles. They're so easy. It takes like fucking 10 minutes. And I love using my oils. I love using my oils so much because it's like it's a spell already there. I don't have to do anything. Just boop boop boop, done. So like maybe when you have the energy, do things that like make it easier for you to do witchcraft throughout like the month or the year or whatever. Prepare oils. Make a 7 day candle, right? Have like tea light candles on deck. Like I have a whole thing of them. So like just keep them on deck for when you need them. Utilize like money bowls, protection bowls, like kind of wards and stuff like that because like those are continuous. Wards you could reuse the ingredients to make like a baneful ward, but like wards can be so easy. Enchant stuff. Like enchanting, like when I enchant stuff, I enchant a lot of shit. Jewelry, fucking beauty products, like tea, like there's so many things that you can enchant. My veil, like stuff like that. And so like just when you have the energy, do magic that can help you in the long run that's more permanent. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like when you have the energy, don't be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do like a 3-hour ritual for one thing. I think like sitting down and preparing and like, like, okay, I'm going to make these oils today. So that way I can use them over the course. My oils last like a year, usually. The droppers, maybe 6 months, but the rollers, especially if I'm using them consistently, but the rollers last a long fucking time. So just like do something like that where you're making something or buying something for me, subtle plug. I will be having a live sale. What day is that? I think it's November 12th. I think that's the day. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's next Wednesday. Period, Pookie. So yeah, do stuff like that. Like do things that are easy, like and keeping up with your like home protections and stuff like that. I used to do like an offering every day for like each spirit that I work with. Now when I do offerings, I just try to give them all offerings at the same fucking time. Like make it easier for you, right? This is your practice at the end of the day. And what you decide is best and easiest for you is up to you. And that's what I always tell people. And I feel really bad because sometimes I think people are looking for more guidance. And I'm just like, what do you think though? Like I could sit here and tell you what I think all fucking day long. But what do you think? What do you want is actually probably a better question. Like, what do you want? Do you want to be giving offerings every day? Like, also in terms of deities, having like devotional jewelry that you can wear daily that's like discreet, that's great. Like that's why I make stuff like that. So it's like you can still devote yourself to a deity without necessarily like sitting down at the altar all the fucking time, journaling. I have a specific journal for Loki that I use. And so sometimes when I don't really feel like sitting down at the altar or like talking to him, I'll just like journal to him. Like it's like I'm writing a letter, if that makes sense. And like just fucking whatever, man. I am I don't know. I am like the queen of lazy witchcraft because I just don't have the fucking time or the energy. And I really find that a lot of my, especially Patreon and clients, obviously because these are the people that I know, like they just don't have the energy, and that's fine. Because you want to know something, you want to know what witchcraft actually is. It's using the things that you have and the resources that you have to be able to make something happen. So like back in the day when people were practicing in secret, they just kind of used what they had. You know, like, it's okay if you're missing a spell ingredient. It's okay if you don't have the time to sit down and do a big to do, like big spell. It's okay if you don't really have the time to sit and give an offering all the time. It's okay if you're going through something and need to take a step back and not practice for a while. Like, that's fine. I don't know who told you that it's not fine, because I get that a lot. I don't know if it's just guilt associated with like religious trauma, or if you're kind of getting secondhand, like, you shouldn't be doing this. I know for me, I mean, like I said, I was raised Catholic and I didn't really go to church that much. So like taking breaks, I feel some guilt sometimes, but like I know that it's fine. But what I think is difficult for me is that I want to be doing these things, and then you see online all these people that are doing the things that you want to do and you can't, or you just don't have the spoons, and you get frustrated, and then you think, well, my practice doesn't look like that, and then you invalidate yourself and what your practice looks like because it doesn't look the same as somebody else's. Some people are extremely dedicated, and that's fucking amazing. And I wish that I could be more like that in my life too. Not everybody is. And that's okay. Like it's supposed to be yours. So take that with what you will. I think I had this idea. I've been wanting to write a book. And I'm going to write a Loki book. I'm in the process of writing it. Still kind of have a long way to go. I'm not, you know, I don't have a book deal or anything, so I'm just taking my time. But I do think I'm going to write. I had this idea of writing a book about kind of what I'm talking about today. I don't see anything like that, really. A lot of like books that I have read on witchcraft, it's always very involved. Like, you got to go get shit. You got to do this. You got to do that. What happened to just like writing an intention on a bay leaf and burning it? What the fuck happened to that? You know, like manifesting with a bay leaf, speaking your intentions into water, talking to the trees. I don't know, man. I have a tree in my backyard that I should probably talk to, honestly, now that I think about it. It's like very spiritually protective, I feel. So, yeah, man, let's get back into like spirit stuff. Let's get back into intuitive. And that's another thing, is that people, I don't feel like, are super intuitive sometimes with their practice. That's okay. Like, you don't necessarily need to be. Like, you can go by the book with stuff, but trusting your intuition, and like, if you feel drawn to an herb and using it, fuck it all. It doesn't matter. I'm in a mood today and nothing matters. Okay? I'm tired of things mattering. Like, I'm tired of expectations from everyone on my practice. I'm not tired of my Patreon people, my clients asking me about it. Trust, I love you guys. I think what I'm really tired of is that you have to feel like that. I don't want you to. Like, because you shouldn't like, because it's yours. Everything is yours. I think that's something that we have to remind ourselves, is that even if you are like a part of a coven, like I kind of like think of like my Patreon as like a little coven, right? Because we all talk and like we are in the Discord and stuff like that. Even if you are a part of like a group, you're at the end of the day a solitary practitioner, because your practice is not going to look the same as everybody else's. It's just not. Like, everyone, and that's the beauty of it, is that like every single practice can be different. It can be up to interpretation. It can be different. It can, and I learn so much from people who haven't been practicing longer or as long as me. Like I remember there was one time where like there was somebody on my Patreon for a minute and they like just got into practicing and they I can't remember exactly what it was, but they like gave me like they were just like, "Oh yeah, like oh, it was like wetting your makeup sponge with like moon water." And I was like, "Oh my God, that is such a good idea. How come I didn't think about that?" Like that there's a lot of things that I have learned from people that haven't been practicing like and for that long. It's because everybody thinks of things differently, right? So don't be afraid to try something new as long as it's not a close practice, guys, okay? Keep that in mind too. But if you feel drawn to something, just fucking do it. Who cares? Nothing matters anymore. Am I okay? Probably not. I've been talking for over 45 minutes. Ranting, I think, might be a better. I really had different intentions when I sat down. I was like, I'm going to talk about lazy witchcraft. I'm going to talk about like validating and da-da-da. And then I went on a rant, like a personal rant about some of the shit that I've been seeing on my page. And again, I really do want to reiterate because I feel, I don't know, that feel like I almost felt like a hypocrite for ranting about that because I sat there and was like, your practice is yours. And it is. And I really want to end the podcast by saying, even if I disagree with someone, their practice is not incorrect. Depending, obviously. So, like, if somebody's like, you can't close a plant, close practice, obviously that is not something that I can like level with something on. But like, in terms of like, the trickster energy thing, like if you're a Hellenic polytheist and you don't believe in trickster energies, that is fine, because Hellenic polytheism does not have trickster energies in it. So that's fine. You don't need to worry about it. It's great. Not every single belief system has that. And so I'm not Hellenic polytheist. I do believe in trickster energies. So I think just a little bit more respect of other people's practices is needed in the community. And I guess this is just your reminder to just respect other people. And if they have a differing opinion of you, just agree to disagree. I think I actually commented that on one of the comments that I got. I was just like, agree to disagree. Like, it's fine. We don't need to sit here and fucking go back and forth for days. Like, it's okay that we don't agree. Because that's your practice and that's mine, And so, like, everybody's practice is different and valid at the end of the day. So, let's just be nicer. I feel, again, like there's just this weird looming witch hunt. I feel like everybody's so fucking mean all the time and everybody's so judgmental. I'm just like, guys, can we just... Oh, we're losing the plot. Like, can we just be nice? Get along, leave each other alone, maybe. I don't know. Boost each other up, maybe. I don't know. Weird concept, I know. But anyway, I'm going to go because I need to stop being a piece of shit in bed. It's okay that I'm in bed, and it's okay if you're in bed too. I do have work I have to get done, though. So I'm going to try and basically use like all of my energy to try and get work done. But let me know what you guys thought of this ranty podcast. I just kind of needed to, maybe I just needed to talk about it. I think I'm like in a mood. So I don't know, maybe I should film more when I'm on my period. I have no idea, but let me know what you think. Let me know of your like opinions on this. Would love to hear it. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have anything else you want me to talk about on the podcast, let me know. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, month, whenever I see you next. And thank you for being here. I love you, and be gentle and kind with yourself. All right, guys. Bye.